bagenzi harohe kichweka ekinkumanya kikahumba ruhanga ubu yemera hansozi olengeresi amare
Fort TV.
Yeah, greetings to the world. I don't know it's a regional real and proper Mr. Benny Gunter straight out of Gunter City to the world now. You're watching Fort TV. Make sure you keep it locked in.
Stay entertained.
Okay. Hello friends, welcome back to yet another episode of Mind Talks with Sandra. I am your host Sandra. Thank you so much for tuning in. I thank you so much for tuning in to Fort TV. Thank you so much. You're doing a very amazing job. Good evening, everyone. Hope you really had a very beautiful day. I am your host, Sandra. I'm a counselor, a mental health advocate, and a co-founder, Serene Man Care Network, an organization dedicated to supporting people's mental health. And today, I'm here with another episode of Mind Talks with Sandra. And today, we're going to talk about something that most of us have gone through, or some of us are going through it at the moment. I'm talking about disappointment. I'm not talking about just mere disappointment, or maybe it did not just work out something. Like, I'm talking about the deep disappointment. I know we had some recent elections and some of us didn't go through. I'm talking about the disappointment whereby that changed how you see yourself. Like, you know, that disappointment where you tried, you put in your effort and it did not work out, or it did not come out as you expected. I'm talking about the disappointment that comes when you announced it. Like, you announced all your goals and achieved nothing. You know that public disappointment hits differently. So, you know, you let me take an example. These people who do mukolo, like, you do a full mukolo, you show off your man or your woman, and just in a few minutes or few days, few weeks, few months, few years, the relationship's out. I'm talking about the disappointment. Guys, we're not here to pretend, and this is a safe space. We're going to talk about real life challenges, and I know it's really so hard. You feel like you want to speak it out, but you cannot. You feel like maybe it changed the way people see you, that disappointment. You feel like it's something that disappointed you. You had a lot of hopes in it. You put in a lot of your energy, your efforts, and it did not work out. It did not come out the way you expected it. That's what we are going to talk about. And this is a very safe space. No judgment, no pretending. We are talking about it the way it is. Thank you so much for tuning in, and let's dive into it. Let's see how best can we deal with it. How best can we work on ourselves. So let's dive into it. Yeah. So, you know, disappointment comes with a lot of emotions. It comes with a lot of pain. Yeah. It comes with a lot of uncomfortable emotions. The sadness you feel, like the sadness when you wake up every day, you feel so sad. You think a lot of things. The emptiness you get. Like, you feel like maybe I'm not worthy enough, I didn't do enough, maybe I would have done anything better. And also that anger that comes in, you know, anger comes along. You start to be angry at yourself for not doing certain things. You start to be angry at other people around you because maybe they didn't do what you expected from them. Let me take an example. Maybe you're a politician, and maybe you paid some people your money, and they didn't vote for you. So, you know, that anger that comes in, you're like, okay, I gave these people my money, but they didn't even do anything. So those emotions that come along the way, and that shame, oh my God, the shame that comes with it. Remember, we do certain things publicly and everyone is looking at us, everyone is seeing us. Like, as the politician, maybe those people in love, like many things we do, and when we do not come up with what we expected, or when we lose, that shame that comes along, you feel like you can't even walk, you can't go to the same places you used to go because you feel ashamed. And you know, most times who come to us, they always tell us it will get better, just accept it, you know, just move on, you're not alone. But remember, pain does not does not respond to commands. Does not respond to commands. And now you feel like you tocha awela, you know, gwali omuntu ow'eswaga, omuntu ow'akabi, and now owulya tocha awela because of the disappointment you get, because of that disappointment you got as a person. And like we as people, like when we get disappointments, this is where we isolate ourselves. Some of us really isolate ourselves because you feel like that's not, it's no longer your portion, or you cannot fit in the audience as you used to. And some of us, we cannot post. Let me take an example of a person who has, those people who have been posting themselves on social media, and now people are asking you, you know, social media is crazy also. Now you used to ask to maybe to post your lover, now they're asking where is he, where is she? So you know that thing, so you feel like you can't even go back on social media. People are going to ask you questions, like, you know, that public shame, that public disappointment is really, as I said, it really hits differently. And I think it's not only even the public ones, you know, we also have our, you know, silent battles we are dealing with. You feel like you want to speak it out, but you cannot. No one knew about it. You invested a lot of your time, you invested a lot of your resources, and now maybe you wanted to bring it out as a surprise to people that you won, but now you didn't. So you feel like you can't trust yourself enough. You feel like maybe I would have done better. I would have done this. Now you're questioning yourself. Or now you're confused. You're like, okay, what can I do next? All the things that I trusted have not worked out. What can I do next as a person? Like, you're in a state of confusion. You don't know what to do next. And even if you know what to do next, you feel like you don't have the energy to do it, because you put in your energy and things did not come out the way you wanted. So disappointment is one of the hardest things to deal with. That pain, that pain, you failing to sleep when you're just thinking about the pain you went through. You're thinking about the efforts. You know, there's a time you sit there and you replay scenarios. You're like, how I wish I didn't do this, how I wish I just did this. You know, like you start to replay scenarios. You start to blame people, you start to blame yourself, you start to blame the government. Like, many things can happen. And you know, it's one of the hardest things to deal with. But if you're the kind of a person who is going through such a thing, this is the right space for you. And we are going to be diving into everything. We are not judging you, we are not criticizing you, we are not seeing you as a person who is less, but we are going to go through this together. And I do believe by the end of this session, by the end of this show, at least you would have okay. So let's talk about public failure and identity. You know, public failure does not only affect your emotions, but it also affects your identity as a person. Hear me out. Let me take an example. These leaders who lost, but before maybe they were honorables, or before they were MPs or councillors or anything, and now they stood in and they did not go through. And now just imagine coming from honorable to a person who lost. Yes, they say once a honorable is always a honorable, but doesn't feel the same to you as a person, because now people are saying, like social media or everywhere, you are named as a person who lost the elections. You know, it might be so bit hard. Like, you used to be Miss or Mr. so and so because you were married, and now you cannot have that name anymore, like literally, or you cannot have that title. So that means the public failure not only affects your emotions as a person, but affects you as a person, your identity. So, and as human beings, we think that if I lost, I have no reason to be sad. You have no like, you feel like you have no reason to be sad. You ask yourself, why am I even sad? And when people come to you, are you okay? The only thing you can tell them is that, oh, I'm okay. Yeah, these are just normal things. I will be better. Oh, like, but when you go back to your bed, you know what really happens there. And maybe when you go back to your bed, maybe you start to question your capabilities or your decisions. You're like, was I just a fool to do this? Was I just a person who wasn't supposed to do this or to undertake this? And By the way, there's another thing I've remembered when it comes to disappointment. I remember those days Uganda Cranes, when Uganda Cranes was playing, that those matches it used to win and everyone was so excited. You know that excitement comes with a lot of laughter, a lot of joy and all that. And when they beat us, you saw Ugandans how they reacted. They were so disappointed. They were so affected to an extent they felt like they shouldn't even go back to watch them play. So disappointment comes in a lot of things. It might not even be you, but it might be the team you're supporting. It might not be you, it might be the people you really love most in your life, and now things didn't work out the way you expect them to work. And carrying the hatred or the disappointment, the shame, I read that it carries like 300 kilograms, because that, like, when you carry it you become lighter. You know, it is really something that is really heavy to manage. So, and I know failure does not erase who we are, but for us we feel like failure has something to do on our identity. If you used to be the chairman and now you cannot be called a chairman anymore, you cannot be the honorable anymore, you cannot be Miss so and so anymore, you cannot maybe ask the students, you weren't able to be promoted to another class, you're going to stay in that same class you were in last year. So those things can be very, very hard. And what I can tell you, that you're more valuable than like before the results, and again you're more valuable even after the results. But most of us, we forget that because maybe we had a lot of expectations in what we are doing. And let me talk about the silent struggles most of us go through when we are alone, when you are, you know, this, as I've said, the public failure hits differently. Even if it's not even a public failure, any failure hits differently, because here, or the disappointment or the failure, and they always say wofiirwa abantu baberawo banje misana, like to comfort you and all that. But the real grief happens when everyone is away, like you're in your bed alone and you're thinking, oh, this person is gone, oh, this job, Bananga cannot do this job anymore, or Bananga I'm no longer the chairperson. People used to call you and now they are not even calling you. Oh, I'm no longer Miss so and so. Like literally it hits different when you're alone in the night. And many people struggle with this like disappointment, suffer with silence, because you feel like, how will I explain to these people what I'm feeling? Because you feel like no one will understand you, no one. And because we all feel like we have no right to be sad, or like feel like we have no right to be sad. But let me challenge you with something we've been taught. We are taught that failure is a proof that we are wrong to try. You know, let me tell you an example in classes where when you get an F, that means you are not even capable of doing that exam. But what if that failure? There's a book I read, I can't remember the name, but that lady said, what if that failure, you know, failure instills anxieties. Today when you fail, you feel like maybe the next time you might fail. So it instills in you the anxieties for life. So, and this lady said, what if that anxiety you have is directing you to doing something? Like, instead of asking yourself, why can't you ask yourself, what can I do better? Instead of criticizing yourself, like, maybe I wasn't worthy. It wasn't worthy the fight. It wasn't worthy, or it wasn't me who was supposed to do this. Why don't you ask yourself, what does this teach me? What can I do better as a person? Because the disappointments are really part of our life. You know, we all have expectations as human beings. Like when you wake up every day, you can plan your day. When you meet people, you can expect something from them. You're like, okay, I've met this person, I've helped this person. Even you as a parent, even if we love our children so much, but when you try to support them, you don't just support them, you support them because you have something you expect from them. So when it doesn't come out the way you expected, that is a disappointment you feel. And most of us, when we get those disappointments, the question we ask ourselves, why is it me? Or why is this happening to me? Why did it have to choose me? Or maybe I didn't do the right thing. Maybe I was not worth, it was not worth. Maybe I did not do enough. Maybe I wouldn't have taken this route. But what if you ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What can I do better? What can I do differently? There's a book I always read. It's called Atomic Habits by John Clear. This guy says, most times it's not about the goals you set as a person. Like, what do they do? How do they behave? What do they do? How do they behave like? What are the things they do on a daily basis? Like, what are the things they do on a daily basis for them to achieve an A? Do, you know? But most of us, we over ask ourselves, why? And they always say, the moment you live so much in the in the past, it will affect you in the present and in your future. So most times, most of us really, this person wasn't supposed to be in my life. All God has helped me to meet these people and to learn a few things. All God has helped me to meet these people and to learn a few things from them. Sense for you. You never know. There's a saying in Luganda, they say, you never know that person who has chased you. They are pushing you. Like, they have chased you for the side. Like, they have chased you for the side, but you can do something, else out of that disappointment. Instead of thinking maybe that relationship was out of that disappointment, instead of thinking maybe that relationship was ended, instead no, they don't know what is going through in my life. But with time you understand, ugambe, I think this failure, this like china chechinyambieko, may I have that feeling, that belief that everything happens for a reason. So whatever happens to you, you might not have the reason at the moment, but with time you can get that reason. With time, that person who has disappointed you, maybe you can. Most times they tell us that you cannot appreciate life if you cannot appreciate light if you've not seen darkness at a certain point. Maybe that disappointment is for character development, because sometimes they say disappointments are bad or failure is bad, but for me I feel like failure is supposed to be part of life, because it's so good for your character development. Because if people didn't disappoint us, we wouldn't think much about ourselves. Because when a person disappoints you, remember, you also feel like, okay, I did for this person this and this and this, but they don't do me well. And okay, now you're like, okay, let me get back to my senses. Now I need to do this for myself as well. Like, most times failure or disappointment is part of our character development. It shapes the way you see the world. It changes the way you so. And disappointment, most times it's like a redirection. Let me tell you a short story about myself. Like, when I was coming from senior 6, I applied for a government scholarship, and I applied for accounting because I really liked accounting. I really loved numbers and business computing, BCom, the courses I applied. But I don't know how these people gave me counseling and guidance. Like, literally, I was like, are these people okay? And everyone was disappointed the same as I was. I'm like, why would they give you such a thing? Because I had even started doing SCCA in my senior 6. Go to Chambogo, you never know I can get a. We all want the money. So when I went there, someone told me that there's a guy at where I used to study SCCA from. He was like, you never know, there is a reason to each and everything in life. If you didn't apply for that course, me, I feel like, and he was like, for him, he feels like he has seen people doing that course and they have really made it in life. And I was like, are you for real? But as young as I was like, let me just go there and get the money, because I had the time. So when I went there, I can say this course has really changed me. It changed the way I see the world. It changed the way I relate with people. It changed me completely. even my confidence, because I couldn't even speak to people like this, but I can now do it. So sometimes disappointment is a redirection. Life is directing you to somewhere else. I don't know how I would have been if I'm an accountant, because I used not to be confident like this. I couldn't even speak to a person. I couldn't even have a conversation with anyone in this world. But look at me, I can do it right now. I can sit on the camera and speak to you people. Don't you think that is really amazing? So sometimes disappointment is really good. It is good, however much it is bad. Yes. And there's also another time I worked for an organization for some good time. I really put in a lot of time. My time, my energy, my money, because I was staying somewhere far, and almost every day I could use like 10,000 to go there. But on a basis, I was told that I will be given a job. I did my intern from there, but they told me after your internship we shall give you a job, because I was really doing so well. And even the person I was supposed to replace left, and I came into a place. I started doing her job. So surprisingly, when I was given a contract, my contract had zero payment. They told me we're not going to be paying you. Guys, I felt so disappointed. I felt so hurt. I felt like maybe I didn't do enough. I felt like so less, like, you know, the things you feel so sad because maybe you expected a lot, and maybe you start to question yourself, did I do right, did I do wrong? But later on I just felt like, okay, you know what, these people are just here to I first asked myself, why me? Why is it me that who was given a contract with zero payment? Because all my colleagues had something on them, like they were going to be given money, and one in those one in Sudan, because most of us think like that. But later on I thought about life, and I'm like, yes, but Sandra, you can also do something for yourself. So that pushed me to also focus on my other things as a person, because I felt like working for people might not give me much as a person, and it gave me the courage to stay committed to Serene Mind Care Network, and now we are operating. So literally everything, maybe my disappointments might not equate to your disappointments, but for everyone sees the world in a different way. Whatever has disappointed me might not be, or you might see it as something small, or it might not affect you the same, but we all have something we carry, or we have all that, we all respect the energies we've put into something. So even you as a person, it might be something small. People, maybe no one can acknowledge it as like when you tell them this and this happened to me, no one can acknowledge it because they feel like it is so small. You're not supposed to be disappointed. No, you can, because everything, all our expectations, the reason that's why we get disappointed, it is because of the energy we put into something. So maybe you're asking yourself, you might be that person who is really disappointed right now. Many things have happened to us, and you feel like life is really stressing right now, because disappointment can bring up depression when you overgive it so much time. So because let me give you an example, by the way, about when I tell you guys not to overthink about the past. So let me take an example. You're holding this phone. When you hold it for a minute, it is not heavy. You feel like it is so light. When you hold it for like 1 hour, it starts to become heavy. When it becomes 2 hours, your hands start to shake. So that means very well that really explains so well what I was talking about, that the energy you give to something, that it's you who gives your problems the energy to control you. But again, I'm not meaning that you're not supposed to feel angry, you're not supposed to feel the emotions that come with that disappointment, no. But I'm saying whatever you like, minimize the energy you give to your disappointment. Instead of asking why, ask yourself, what can I do next, or what can I learn from this? What is it directing me to? Yeah. So healing does not mean, like, let's talk about healing after disappointment, by the way. Healing does not mean pretending it did not hurt. Like, You know, some of us, they ask you, hey, what happened? What happened between you and so and so? It was just, yeah, we just ended that and made that. Sometimes you just need to acknowledge, you're like, okay, even if you don't tell people, you can pretend when you're telling people, you're telling them, I didn't even like like him that much. But when you go back into your room, stop pretending. Be true to yourself. Tell yourself, like, okay, this thing really hurt me. This man really disappointed me. These people really disappointed me. I gave them my money to vote for me. They did not. Because you cannot lie to your heart. You know your heart best. So when you sit there, do not pretend that you don't hurt. Because the moment you do not accept the reality, that is when things are going to go berserk. You're denying something even to yourself. For us, you can deny. You can, okay, I didn't like that girl much. Oh, I didn't really love that person that much. Oh, I didn't like that job that much. But in your hearts of hearts, you know very well that Munang, that thing really hurt me. So the first step to healing is accepting. You know what? I did what I did, but things didn't go out as I expected them to go. I love this person, but maybe I wasn't the best option for them. I loved this job. I put in much for this job, but maybe it wasn't supposed to be mine. Okay, you've lost something or someone. Okay, this person is dead and they're not coming back. This job is gone, it is not coming back. This relationship is gone, it is not coming back. The moment you accept that, your brain will start to teach you other ways of how you can survive life. But the moment you keep in denial, like, this man tasobola kunchawa, ono omukazi tasobola kunchawa, tasobola ogenda kwekanga ngokola ebintu, but ngoli mu denial. The more you're in denial, the more you get more affected as a person. So, and by the way, when you accept, allow yourself to grieve. Men do not cry. Men cry when you get that time alone. If you fear to cry in public, please cry. If you need to rant, please rant to yourself. If you need to do it, like, sometimes let's give ourselves time to grieve. The moment you start masking yourself, let me give you an example. Have you ever been to a burial and maybe a person seems not to be bothered? Like, like, you see them so active and all that, but then, like, ate wayitawo ebbanga n'omulaba ng'omuntu ayonoonese, atandise okunywa omwenge, atandise okunywa ebitalagalagala, ayeekolakola obuntuntu, oba omusanzi naye yesse. Most times, the more you mask that grief, the more it affects you deep inside. So, if you're this kind of a person who doesn't want to be vulnerable around people, when you go back to your bed, please and please, cry, rant, write down, talk to yourself, do all this, because you're just human, you're not a machine. We all have feelings, we all have emotions. So the moment you don't allow yourself to grieve, it might be so hard for you to heal. Another thing, talking about it with safe people, like, we have counselors. I'm a counselor myself. We have people, even the safe people, like the friends whom you can call and you talk about things. Call them and tell them how you're feeling. You're like, okay, you know what? By the way, I always tell people, if you call me, do you want me to listen to you? Like my friends, because when I'm with my friends, I can advise them, but for when I'm with my clients, I don't advise. I just give you options, and for you choose for yourself. Like, for us, we counselors, we make people confident to be able to choose the right decisions for themselves, but we do not advise. But for my friends, I do advise. Yes, because I'm a friend. So when my friends call me, I just ask them, do you want me to give you a listening ear, or you would want my opinions after? So if they do not want my opinions, I will not give them my opinions. I will just listen to them. They rant, they cry, they narrate, they do what? I ask questions where I have not understood. And by the way, when you speak to people, there's a way you feel relieved. Personally, when I feel so sad, when I feel so disappointed, I have that friend of mine I always call. I'm like, you know what, this is this and this and this and this is happening to me, and I cannot anymore. And when you're done speaking, there's a way you feel relieved. They always say shared problem is half solved. So sometimes let's learn to share. Let's learn to share with our friends, because the more you talk about it, the more it becomes even less. I don't know why. Most times when you talk about something, even in the due course of you talking, you start getting ideas like, okay, nandikoze nabwenti, nandizemu bwenti, nandikoze kino, nandizizaako kino. So obulamu bwe butambula. Sometimes it's about you sharing with friends. And also another thing, resting without guilt. Now most times for us, we take ourselves as if we are machines. No, you are not a machine. Now mama aliyeyo, tata aliyeyo, now uli muntu okolachi okowa. Most times they say women, we always put other people first. No way kanga go mukazi gwakola kino gwakola kirigwa, like you've not even rested. How will they, you cannot pour from an empty cup. That's why most of us women, or most of us mothers or fathers, we're always angry at home. It's not because we're supposed to be angry, but it's because we don't give ourselves to rest. Once in a while, get called that time. This is a me time. It is for me to reconnect with myself. It's for me to relax. It's for me to it's for me. Because guys, pouring from like if you get a cup here, you cannot pour into another cup water. That's how it is even to us human beings. If you do not rest, you don't get time to reset yourself. You don't get time to pour into yourself. So if you don't have something poured into yourself, you cannot give to other people. That's why most of us are so bitter. We're so bitter with life. We are so angry. We are always sad. We are always frustrated. We are always irritated. To live all the time. It is because we don't get time for ourselves too. We don't rest. You do not rest your mind sometimes. It is always racing. You do not give it time to rest. Yeah? So the more you rest, sometimes you're like, okay, today let me rest from all my problems. Let me be just not think about anything. Because that's how some of us we can regain confidence to deal with the disappointments in life, because disappointments are part of life. Jense jakuba gwagamba why let me kanyigemo ano ka break then it's okay kakanemu then neyongereyo ensi yesigale etambula esigale kuuba. So kiri eri gwe kyojukolera, like whatever you do to it is what it gives you. And also separating your worth from your outcomes, guys. Like learn to separate yourself from the outcomes of things. Because most of us, we attach ourselves to the outcomes of things, and when things do not go the way we wanted, then it changes our mind. It changes the way we think about ourselves. Like, how can I say it? I'm going to first explain this in 2 dimensions. Like I was reading a book called Hidden Laws of Abundance, and this guy said dealing with failure is something that is really tricky, but he says learn to disconnect yourself from the outcome of things, because the more you connect yourself from the outcome of things, the failure will become your identity. If you put in so much energy to achieve something and you fail, you will start to see yourself as a failure. I cannot be a leader because I failed. That means you connected yourself to failure, or you connect yourself to the outcome of things. Because when you connect yourself to the outcome of things, when they go berserk, you become the berserk. I don't know whether that is even right English, but when we're connecting an you start to see yourself as that thing. You start to see yourself as the outcomes. Yet those outcomes, they're just things that happened. Like when you connect yourself to the outcome of things, you even lose the morale to do other things, because you feel like you are not worth. even disconnect yourself from the outcome of things also is really good when you're like, maybe you have that business you want to start, or you have that idea, but the more you connect yourself to the outcome of things, you will not start it, because ojja kuba olowooza nnyo ebigenda ovaayo ogamba ha ni katika start. I'm not saying that you shouldn't plan, or I'm not saying that you shouldn't think of what which no, but most times the more you connect yourself to the outcome of things, it becomes hard for you to even start it, because ojja kuba oli olowooze ha kati ate wenkola eno business n'agifuna ate wengwa mukwano guno tebaddemu ne bamenya omutima, like otandika nga nebyokola byonna you're aiming at achieving that failure, and if you fail you start to like to see yourself as that failure. That's why most times, that's why I talked about something that sometimes failure or disappointment doesn't only affect our emotions, it also affects our identity as people. So when you disconnect from the outcome of things, you become free from that failure. You ask yourself, instead of asking why me, era nze munnange nze ndabika ndi muloge, nze ndabika nasiraana, nze ndabika sisobola kwagalwa, wotyo bw'obeera when you connect yourself from the outcome of things. But when you disconnect yourself from the outcome of things, you say, I did what I was supposed to do, but maybe things didn't go as I expect them to go. What do I learn from this? What can I do better? What does this failure teach me? What direction does it send me? Like, instead of asking the why all the time, ask what. Instead of the why, put what. Yeah. So since we have been talking about how to heal from a disappointment, in this due course as you're healing, it's okay to be sad. By the way, most of us, we always suppress our negative emotions, but sometimes they are so good when it comes for us to heal. As I told you, let yourself grieve as you must. So it's okay to be sad. You're just human. You are just human, and it's okay to allow yourself feel disappointed. Tewekaza kubeera nagambe bantu osobola okwekaza, you can, but when you go in your bed alone, please tewekaza, like feel everything the way you're supposed to feel it. It's okay. And then you are allowed to take some time. You're like, okay, I was in this relationship for long, I had a lot of expectations, and maybe this person used not to feel the same for me, or maybe this person had different agendas, or maybe for them they had their expectations which weren't met in me. So when you get all those maybe reasons, first give yourself time, and okay, let me first give myself time to work on myself, to reflect on myself, to do better for myself. Like literally, it's okay to take your time. Even in any business, even if it's a business, you got a disappointment, you're like, okay, excuse me, before I invest my money in anything else, let me first take my time. Let me first take my time, analyze myself, be okay, feel better, and then I might start again. Yeah, but what you are not allowed to do, to believe the lie that your life is over. I don't want you to believe that, because no, it is not over until it is over. The day you will have to believe that your life is over is when you're dead, and not dead because you took your life, but dead because God decided that. But for now, do not take that lie that if I'm not with this kind of a person, my life is over. Like, think of the times you were there without them. Yes, I know they have supported you a lot. Maybe they have taught you a lot. They have put you in different situations, different places and all that, which you cannot maybe take yourself to. But it is not over until it is over. Do not take that lie that your life is over if that something has really happened to you. Yeah, I told you certain things happen for a reason. And the moment you know, you just give it time and you'll see how things will go. Yeah? And then, because it's not, the chapter ended, but your story did not. That chapter ended, that chapter of you and someone ended, that chapter of you with that job ended, that chapter of you being a minister ended, that chapter of you being a honorable ended. But your life did not. Your story did not. You have something. You have many things to give to the world. Like literally, me sometimes I feel like this world needs me so much. To an extent, Uganda. Uganda. I feel like Uganda net like start taking yourself as that importance. Like I always tell people that everyone has a purpose, and the moment you will know your purpose, you will know life will become busy, life will become better, you will be a happy person. So whatever has happened on the way, it is just there for you to redirect you to your purpose, by the way. So you really wanted that job, but maybe your purpose was not supposed to, you were not supposed to be there. Like me, I told you I didn't even know how to speak, but see, I'm just here speaking. I've been able to impact many people, because I started working in 2023 and I've been going to different schools, more than 50 schools. So, and what if maybe I refuse to take this course and I'm like, okay, I cannot do counseling, let me just, maybe I wouldn't Sandy because I wouldn't even feel fulfilled like the way I'm feeling right now. But maybe I accepted my fate. So sometimes it is not the end of your life, it's just the end of the chapter, but your story continues. Keep thriving, keep seeing other opportunities, keep seeing other things away from the failure. You never know. The moment you get your purpose, the moment life will be easier and better for you. And whatever, when you're going through all this disappointment, please and please do not ever, as I've told you, do not ever think that your life cannot live. You cannot live without anyone. You can live without anyone on this earth. Like, yes, I know we want people, we need people, but we are now 8 billion people, and you've not even met half of the 8 billion. So why do you think your life cannot move when that man is not in your life? Okay, I don't know, I don't want to I don't think I'm judging anyone, but that's how life is. Have it in your mind that life is a journey. Today it might be so shiny, the other day it might be so rainy. Like, that's how life is supposed to be. But the way you come to life, the way whatever you think of life is what life gives you. Yeah, so let's try to also work on our mindset. Let's work to also work on our mindset, how we see life, how we see life. Literally, if it needs you to, there's something I really like, the positive affirmations. When you're speaking them, most times you might sound like a mad person. Like when you wake up every day and you're like, I'm worth it, I'm great, I achieve everything I need, I'm beautiful, I'm what? It sounds like it's not true, or you sound like a mad person. But this brain, let me tell you something about the brain. We have this conscious mind, the brain you use to do your everyday work, and we have the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind is made up of the experiences we've gone through as people. That's why you react, you're angry, you're sad, the way you react to things is registered in our subconscious mind. And this subconscious mind always believes what you tell it. When you tell it that we are stupid, it takes it that we are stupid. When you tell it that you're great, it takes it that we are great. So that's how the subconscious mind works. And your subconscious mind is the one that is directing you. So the way your subconscious mind feels is how you feel about the world. So the moment you try to feed it, they say this subconscious mind, it doesn't understand sarcasm. So even if you're joking, it will just register that. Even if you joke that you're stupid, it will, oh, Munai, we are stupid. Oh, Munai, we are ugly. Oh, Munai, we are not worth it. Oh, Munai, we are destined for failure. Oh, Munai, like whatever you tell it is what it registers, and that's what you will start to feel about yourself. So in whatever you're going through, please, it's okay, you can feel sad, it's okay, you can belittle yourself for some time, but not that much, because the more you over talk about something, the more the subconscious mind registers. So that's why I always tell people, use positive affirmations every day. Try to speak something nice about yourself. Try to be grateful about life. Even if something might not be going on well, try to see other opportunities around you. So the moment you do that, your subconscious mind is registering. It is registering, and you will start to see a difference in life. You start to see a difference in life. And so, if you lost something recently, an election, a job, a relationship, a dream, like the dream you've built for so long, but now it is no more, I want you to hear me clearly. You are not a failure. You are not finished. You are not forgotten. Have it in mind that that's how life is supposed to be, and better things are coming your way. So this is not the end of your purpose. This is not the end of your relevance, and this is just the starting or the beginning of your purpose. And this is not the end of your becoming, my dear, whoever you are outside there or out there. And do not punish yourself. I know most of us, we can punish ourselves. Most of us really, let's learn to treat ourselves the way we treat other people. Like when your friend comes to you and they are sad, they are what, you really try to comfort them, you really try to motivate them. But when it comes to you, when you're sad, the best thing you can do to yourself is to maybe cut yourself, criticize yourself, start thinking less of yourself. That's not good. Maybe the same way you handle other people, it should be the same way you handle yourself. So because I do believe that sometimes life pauses us, not to punish us, but to prepare us. Most times life just wants to prepare you for the best. So I just want you to know that your voice can be heard. You're just human. You are not a failure. Life is just supposed to prepare you for something else. So just try to redirect your mind to something else. Just instead of asking yourself why, maybe ask yourself what can I do? What can I learn? What can I do best? What? Even if you're going to God, ask Him. Instead of, why me? God, what are you teaching me? What do I do next? What? Alright, so it's been a great having you on here. Thank you so much for always tuning in. Thank you so much for following us. Please, we really appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining in. And it's always a pleasure having you on here. Always tell a friend to tell a friend that we have this show every Wednesday 8 p.m. and our repeat is on Saturday 8 p.m. on only Fort TV. And I'm always your girl, your host, Sandra. Mind Talks with Sandra, where healing starts with just a conversation. We shall be having different people on board, professionals, survivors who have gone through certain things, who come here to share their stories, and we can relate from them. We can learn a few things from them. We can know that we are not alone. We can learn from them how they were able to go through life challenges, and they were able to show up or to come up as successful. And we shall be having different professionals who come to teach us more about different things about life, mental health. And I want you to know that your mental health is as important as your physical health. The same way you take care of your physical health has to be the same way you take care of your mental health, because your mental health is your engine. Thank you so much for always listening in. We really love you and appreciate the support you do. You give us, we thank you so much. Bye.
Fort TV.
Yeah, greetings to the world. I don't know it's a regional real and proper Mr. Benny Gunter, straight out of Gunter City to the world now. You're watching Fort TV. Make sure you keep it locked in.
Stay entertained.